Alright guys, so we've got another round 1 game for TWC 11, and big thanks to Adico for organising, casting and funding these tournaments. What a legend. So anyway, we got ingsoc playing under ingsoc today. He swapped back from despair. He's not in despair today, he's ingsoc. So he's playing his Delhi. He's going straight. Here we go. He's got the mill to 3/4 of the way and rallied the villagers to start gathering while finishing up the mill. There we go. Top level production there. He's already going for the mosque and he's just going to distance gather with the wood. But this means he does manage to get some upgrades on the way, or at least the mosque upgrades on the way. Francis Bean is his opponent today, and apologies to take so long in introducing him. And we've got a French player in the red trunks. Fairly standard sort of build here for the French player to go up to 7 or 8 on the food and start that early goal gathering. He wants to get straight into Age 2, start night production and really take control of the game. In fact, French players can always just alternate between knight and horseman production early, or even just get horsemen. And I don't know, I feel like French have a lot of options in Age 2. They're a comfortable civ to go to fast Age 3, to go to second town centre and stay Age 2, and to play one town centre aggressive Age 2. I guess they're probably the most flexible in that regard, because it sort of doesn't matter which matchup you're in, you can probably do all of them. Whereas the other civs, I think your decision making is a lot more matchup dependent. I'm saying this as someone who's got 20 games experience of French and English and less of every other civ, by the way, so I could be wrong. But it just feels like French have a really nice, really flexible playstyle in all matchups. Ooh, and this is bad for Francis. He's run out of sheep here, so he's actually having to bring his villages across onto the hunt already, and he's not stacked them up on the closest deer, so it's going to mean he's going to gather a little bit slower than he otherwise would be at the moment. And ingsoc sitting on the berries, things nice and efficient for him, sort of hasn't got the wood to throw down a mill on the far side or anything. You sort of don't get the chance to with your opening berry bush on Abbasid or on Delhi, but for your later ones I think it's a good idea, because it just means you can save on walk time. Like if you get a mill here and a mill here, it means there's basically no walk time to these berry bushes. You can even go for a third over here, and it means you got more space for farms when it finishes up. Obviously it's the wood investment, so like I said, you don't want to do it too early, but you can make great use out of multiple drop-off points. And even in the late game, what you can do is basically have these gold mining camps flush with one side, rather than having it offset like that, and chuck one there and one there. And that means you've actually got instant drop-off on two faces rather than just one. And you know, when you're talking gathering with like 20 or 30 villages, that walk time really actually starts to eat away at your villager efficiency. When you're talking 5 villages, obviously it doesn't matter and you're better off just sort of stacking them around the corner or on one face, and really it doesn't matter. So Dome of the Faith, H2 landmark for ingsoc, coming in hot. H2 landmark for Francis Bean. School of Cavalry also coming in hot. So got 2 scouts here for ingsoc, 1 scout here for Francis at this stage of the game. So Francis will be up by a villager, provided he doesn't get housed, which he is at the moment. So this is not great for him. That villager lead I said he had from not producing a second scout has now worked against him. Well, I think ingsoc has already got his house. So ingsoc 18 villages, 3 scouts already, hey? 1, 2, can't see a third. Oh, sorry, that's the Scholar counts as a mill unit. Well, Francis, what's that, 21 to... Francis is actually up by 2 vills. Oh, that's right, French Eco. But I feel like Francis could be further ahead in the vill count than he is. Well, particularly because he got housed there. And so, ingsoc gonna have to deal with a knight opening. But in the meanwhile, might be able to harass a vill or two here. Delay some gathering. Oh, the knight's already here, so these scouts aren't going to be able to stick around. In the meantime, ingsoc knows he can just double down on spear production. Take an outpost on the gold mine if he feels he needs to. Just going to wall off that little segment there as well. So one of the scouts falls. Francis draws first blood, I believe. So Francis with the first kill of the game. But will he be able to maintain this? And while this is going on, Francis has bought time for himself because really, ingsoc's bought time for himself because really, Francis probably should have just pushed with his initial knight straight on the gold mine just to try and get a vill kill before the outpost goes up. And now ingsoc's actually got some spears to defend. With numbers like this, he'll be able to cost effectively take on the knight. And he's going to get hardened spearmen behind this. The vills can always just garrison along with the scout, and it becomes impossible for Francis to really get any value out of this other than the loss of gather time. But if the knight goes down, then the French player loses 240 resources, and it's really takes a huge hit to the hip pocket. Because knights, as great as they are early game, and as great as French and Rus Age 2 is because of it, they are so fucking expensive. Like, spearmen cost a third what knights cost. Ooh, so this single spear might get caught out here. Francis is going to try and go for a hit at the back of ingsoc's base, but he's too late to get the berries. ingsoc is going to go... Oh, that is a wonderful sheep count for him. He's up to like 20 sheep there basically, or 18 sheep. Absolutely nuts, and being up right under the town centre, he can always just garrison, try and pick the knight off, or at least take it very low, force FrancisBean to have to make use of chivalry, and remember which knights are low and where, and how to, not really how to, but where to swap things around for his engagements. Because you never really want to be leading with your low units or they're just going to die. But chivalry kicking in now, so the knights slowly going to regen. That means Francis can dodge and weave and take little jabs at his opponent where he sees fit, force ingsoc to have to chase him around the map. But in saying that, ingsoc has no doubt already taken the upgrade that he can go for Age 2 Sacreds. He's going to chuck an outpost on this one, he's walling off this one, and he's going to park some spears, which means that Francis has got to send several knights to try and clean this up now. Spearman being able to build walls is really quite nice for the Delhi player. But the Scholar is going to fall. Oh no, the Scholar might be alright here. No, he is going to fall. But so will the Knight. So the Scholar's... Oh no, the Knight's going to make it out. But the Scholar's only worth 100 resources. The Knight's worth 240, so not a huge blow to ingsoc at the moment. Because in the meanwhile, he's setting up to take another Sacred. He can always... He's walled off this now, so he can always just funnel another Sacred around. He's just... I mean, funnel another Scholar around. He's got to be careful on that Knight. More Knights here. France is taking a good fight, actually. He's going to be able to snipe another one of these Scholars and get out. He's taken a lot of damage, for the value that he is getting, and it's going to cost him time now to be able to mount a good fight against the Spearman. So behind this, I think he might just be looking to go age up. He's getting some bowmen as well, just because it means that he doesn't necessarily have to wait for the age up. Oh. So Ingsoc's even walled off. Ingsoc has walled in the Sacreds. And he's forcing Francis to have to try and get some more value here, but Francis is not going to be able to snipe another Scholar. Bearing in mind, once Ingsoc goes to age 3, he's going to be able to use all the Scholars he's already got to pick up all the relics as well. So no doubt Francis is trying to really rely on the fact that he's slowing down the movement of the gold eco into tech and into being able to go to age 3 and take the relics and get further ahead. Because he's killed 2 or 3 Scholars now. But he's also got to come back, regen the Knights a little bit and try and take a proper fight now. Otherwise, it's going to be a Sacred victory in 10 minutes time. Well, 11 minutes, because Ingsoc's actually got to capture one last Sacred. Or 2. A Blacksmith on the way. Guildhall on the way. So age 3 inbound for the French player. I do wonder whether Francis is better off staying age 2 for a little bit, just to take back control of the Sacreds and just to pump resources. Because I mean, this is costing him 1800 resources, and he can chuck that into production and army units and upgrades at the moment. He can go up to 2 blacksmiths if he wants. And just look at winning back control of the Sacreds and breaking through these walls. Obviously, if he does go age 3, he gets access to range siege, but if he's in age 2 and he's going for siege engineering, you can always just get fuckloads of bows, a handful of spears, or fuckloads of bows and keep producing your knights. And look at trying to contest, go to age 3 with a bit more map control. So he doesn't quite make it. The outpost is full. But now the race is on to try and break hold of the sacred sites. And Ingsoc, still in age 2, age 3 is just about to get here. Wonder if Ingsoc's going to queue up any of these upgrades this time. I suppose they're not hugely consequential, except for that one there that might be nice. It takes so long to kick in these ones. Don't know why he doesn't just queue up these, because they don't actually slow him down at all, I don't think. Oh, actually, maybe they do. The more upgrades you've got, the more scholars you need. And on top of that, he's got them all out of garrison because he wants to maintain possession of these sacreds and grab the relics. We're seeing relics. Ingsoc's pinching the relics. So Francis is going to be active on the map now. He's moving out with the ram. But like I said, going to age 3 so quickly, he's now taken so long to move out with the ram push. And by now the Sacreds have already given Ingsoc quite a bit of gold. I mean, you might be better off sitting age 2 and pushing out with more shit, because like I said, it's an 1800 resource commitment to go age 3. Whereas you go second town center, which is, what's that, 700 resources, it's another 1100 to pump into military, so you can get 2 rams and a handful more units, and look at really breaking this hold a civ like Abbasid has it. I mean, a civ like Delhi is going to have at this stage. And this is rough because knights are going to fall here, well, one of the knights at least. Whereas if Francis had a microed back that knight, he could have really come out ahead there. So Ingsoc down to only 2 sacred sites, only 2. And bearing in mind he's about to start getting a relic advantage. So there's 3 relics in the garrison there already. And no relics yet for our French player. But he might be able to grab a hold of this one here at the front of the map. For now, has things his way, but Tower Elephants are inbound, so ingsoc gonna mount this really scary elephant parade push. And for now, Francis is going to try and focus down all the squishier units if he can. But the Knight's not going to be able to engage too well because there is a lot of spearmen there in pursuit. These alleys, they have to just sit on top of the bowmen. They're just that tanky. And this keep for Francis, I don't know if this is going to finish up in time. He doesn't got enough villagers making it. At the same time, if he pulls any more, then he probably doesn't have the eco to keep reinforcing the fight behind this. A little bit too much wood in the bank. Probably needs a bit more gold. Ooh, and now he's pulling too many villagers. Gonna try and go for a conversion, but he's gonna lose so many vills to ingsoc if he sticks around here. So ingsoc trying to go for the area combat. Ooh, and that monk going down. So everything going ingsoc way here, even though he doesn't get the conversion off. Francis is left with only villagers trying to rush up the keep, and this is most of his eco trying to do so. He's not going to have enough, and I think this is going to be GG ingsoc victory. Sorry to call it a little bit early there, guys, but ingsoc just devastating, making his opponent feel utter despair.